My next guest is coming off a big win this past weekend over Jordan Levitt. It is Claudio Puelles joining me here on the program for the very first time. Claudio, how are you, sir?
Hey, James. Hey, happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And yeah, just happy to be able to talk a little bit about my life and about my last fight.
Yes, great performance. We'll get into that in a second, but I know it was your first fight since I think September of 2019, right? A bit of a layoff heading into the fight. How did you feel in there? Because you looked outstanding in the cage on Saturday.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So it's not the first time I've had a long day off. I'm not proud to say that, but it's how my career has been. Also, this time was not my fault. Before, like, my other layoffs were basically injuries, which is not my fault either, but it happens. But this time it was different because the COVID hit and I was stuck in Peru. I basically couldn't leave the country. There was a point where I couldn't even leave my apartment. So it's been pretty rough. It was a pretty rough 2020. Then I made the move to South Florida and switched everything up. Answering what you asked about why I look good is because I had a good camp in Sanford. I was very confident going into the cage, much better than my last fight. So yeah, that pretty much made my whole performance.
How long did you spend at Sanford MMA before taking the fight? Like, how long had you trained there?
I got there February, about
nice.
The 15th. So it was about 3.5 months that I spent at Sanford. I didn't want the training camp to end. I was so happy there. I was making a lot of improvements every day on a daily basis. I love the training. I love the atmosphere in that gym. And I love the weather in South Florida as well. It's pretty good down there.
Yeah, no, you can't beat that. That's great. The fight played out great. I mean, you ended up getting the win. Was there anything about Jordan that surprised you in the fight that maybe you weren't expecting? No,
he was everything I expected. I knew like his what he had to offer, and I found out about some weak things he had inside the fight, like his gas tank could have been better. But the thing is, he spent about 4 minutes in the first round trying to take me down. He got me down a couple of times, but I stood right back up, and that's really tiring. He kept on hanging onto my leg. That really messes up your lower back and takes like a lot of wind out of you. So, I mean, you take someone down and they pop right back up. That's not really good for your head either, for your mind. You're like, oh shit, what I gotta do to keep this guy down? I already did. I've been like doing all my effort to keep him down, and he's popping right back up. So yeah, I think I did a good work in that. But actually, it wasn't the second round that I took charge of the fight. I said to myself, if I keep doing this, he's not gonna keep me down. He's not gonna like advance position, but he's still winning for the judges because he's like charging forward. So I'm just gonna like take over the fight, like attack him. I'm gonna out-grapple him, and that's what I did. Like I felt I could out-grapple him if I wanted to, but I had to make the choice. So yeah, that was basically it.
Okay, well, that's great. So you go to the judges' scorecards. I don't imagine you were nervous. I know sometimes when you go to the judges' scorecards, you never know how they're going to score. But were you pretty confident you had the win when they read the scorecards?
Yes. I was 100% sure I got the win. But after the fight, a couple of people asked me that question, like right after the press conference, and I actually thought, could that have been possible? Like.
Just because we've seen bad judging before. I mean, I think anyone watching at home saw that you won the fight, but you never know with some judging. Sometimes they might see something else. You know, we've had some bad judging this year. You know, so
I would have been out of my mind if that happened. Like really,
right?
Like,
I think a lot of people would have. Yeah, and kind of on that note as well. I don't know if you were aware, but I believe you were the betting underdog heading into the fight. Did you have anyone message you that they won money on your fight?
Brother, I made so much money to my friends and my family. Bro, I had friends betting like over $1,000 on me, and they got a lot of money because I was paying 2.70. So, yeah, people were happy. And I feel a little bad because I've seen a lot of like hate to my opponent on social media because he was a betting favorite and he made a lot of people lose money. But, you know, you should never give shit to an athlete for like
100%
betting your money. Like, you are like the idiot who's like losing your money over someone. It's not them. They're not making you lose. Like you're like responsible for your own choices.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you there as well. And as have you or your management spoken to the UFC since the fight, they must have been very impressed with your performance.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they were impressed by my performance. I knew I could have made a little more damage on the third round, because like especially that round, because he was more tired, and people have been telling me that I looked pretty good on the third round, like cardio wise. So I knew I could put a little more hurt, but I was like playing a little safe because I knew I needed to win that round. And maybe like I was like thinking on the middle of the round, what if like I make a mistake and he takes over the round and then he like beats me 2-1? So I was like, I'm just gonna play it safe. So nope, there hasn't been much communication yet. I told them I'm gonna have vacation a little bit here in Peru for a month, and then I'll be back training. So I might be fighting at the end of the year again.
Good. Well, it's good to see you back in there. I wanted to get your thoughts. We got this big UFC card coming up here on Saturday, UFC 263. Just wanted to ask about 3 of the fights on the card. We have that interesting fight in the welterweight division. Leon Edwards taking on Nate Diaz. Right now on Fanduel, get this, because we were talking about betting odds earlier. Leon Edwards is a minus 590 favorite. So that means you'd have to bet $590 just to win $100 on Leon Edwards. Nate Diaz is the underdog at plus 410. Who do you like in that fight? Because it's kind of an interesting one.
It is a good fight, pretty good fight. I think Edwards takes the win, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people like put some money on Diaz. You know, he's like fan favorite fighter. Plus, he's gonna make you a lot of money if he wins. So it wouldn't be bad to put like a couple hundred on him. I still think he doesn't take the fight. Leon is he's too conservative and too like precise to lose to a guy like Diaz. And but it's also I also took notice it's a 5-round fight.
That's right. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, it is. It's one of the only times I think the UFC's done a 5-round fight just for a main card fight, not a main event, right?
I know. Yeah, that was crazy. I took notice of that like I think yesterday. So that makes it a little more interesting. So if it was a 3-rounder, I think Leon would take it very easily. Now being a 5-rounder fight, you know how Diaz has just like crazy endurance. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can do something in the championship rounds, if we can call them that, because they're not really championship rounds this time around. But I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good fight.
And it's going to be a nice fight. I told you I got Edwards, and on the co-main event I got Moreno. He's Latin American like me. He's Mexican. He's my boy. So yeah, I think he's going to take the win. Well, how
does Moreno do it? Let me ask you that. I know there's some bias there, but still, how do you think? Because Moreno's actually a plus 205 underdog. Figueiredo minus 250. How do you think Moreno does it? Do you think he can finish Deiveson and Figueiredo, or do you think he'll win a decision?
I don't know if he can finish him. The other guy's very tough, and he's very good, very very good fighter, incredible athlete. He's proved to be a beast on the 125 weight class. I still think it's going to be a sick fight, just like the first one. I hope Brandon can do something more this fight, so he takes the win. I think he really got his confidence higher after that last fight. You know, going into a fight with a guy like that, you have to be a little concerned. And after he went to battle with him for 5 rounds, I'm pretty sure from the beginning now he knows he can hang around with him for 5 rounds. Now he has to get in the fight thinking something else. Like, I can beat this guy. Before maybe it was like, can I hang out with this guy? Now he knows he can. So he has to have that mentality, that killer mentality, for sure, going into it.
And then I got to get your pick for the main event. Israel Adesanya, Marvin Vettori, the rematch for the middleweight title. Israel Adesanya, the champion, minus 280. Marvin Vettori, plus 220 as the underdog. Who do you like in that fight?
So I like Adesanya a lot. He's really good at 185. He even looked good at 205. Not good enough to beat the champ. He's the heavier guy, maybe more experienced guy. But I don't know. Vettori has some conditions kind of similar like Blachowicz. So he maybe can... He already saw the way to beat Adesanya. So Adesanya kind of lost his invincibility aura. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I still think Izzy is way too skilled. he's way too skilled. I think he gets the win. But Vettori's a bull. He's gonna put in the pressure for sure that day. I don't know. I want to see a good fight, but I'm going for easy.
You mentioned you're going on vacation. Where are you going to? What do you have planned for the next little bit?
I'm just in my country in Peru.
Oh, so just staying at a staycation then, as I guess you'd call it. So you're going to be staying at home, which is good.
How you call it? Staycation?
In North America, we call it staycation. So it's like when you take time off, but you don't travel anywhere. It's called a staycation. That's what they say.
A staycation?
Yeah, staycation. It's like stay, like stay as in like I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
Staycation. So there you go. So that's interesting.
Countrycation.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm teaching you all these different terms here. What's been the feedback since being back home? Because again, I know you were away, so you made some sacrifices there. It must be great to come back home with a big win like that. Yeah,
man, I'm pretty happy. I'm really happy to be home right now, spending some downtime with my family. I'm also I'm visiting the gyms I train here. I just visited my jiu-jitsu and wrestling school today. They were really happy to see me. They were street training hard. I had some words with the guys, and tomorrow I'm going to my other gym. Also gonna see my old MMA coach as well. Always like I'm always very happy to be their like men representative, and also very down to earth towards my old coaches and that. I never forget where you come from, my roots.
Claudio, thanks so much for doing this, man. It was great catching up with you again. Congratulations on the victory. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media that you want to plug, I'll give you the last word. Yeah,
follow me. I'm basically all the time on Instagram. That's the one I use the most. So it's Claudio, my name, Claudio_Puelles. Very simple. You'll see my blue check just to verify that's me. And don't get messed around. So thank you, James, for having me. I had a really good time betting about the fights and everything.